nervous, huh? A little nervous, huh?
In London's southwest, Michael and his French bulldog Piglet are both anxious.
What's the matter, huh? You okay?
Today, the much-loved 13-year-old might have to undergo life-saving surgery.
Good boy. There we go. Piglet's the sweetest little old man. He's had some issues with his spleen and pancreatitis, so that's why we're here today, to get things taken care of.
Morning, Michael.
Hey,
how
Mike.
you doing? Hey, Piglet. How's he doing today? Is it
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Ready for his big day?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. Should we go through?
Sure.
Yeah. Come, follow me. Let's go.
Come on, Piggy. Come on.
Vet Michael recently discovered a worrying tumour in Piglet's spleen while treating the sweet-natured dog for an inflamed pancreas.
Are we assuming that mass is attached to the spleen?
So it's actually growing from within the spleen.
Within the spleen,
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Piglet actually came to us a few weeks ago for a completely different problem. He had uncontrollable vomiting and diarrhea. So in the investigations for the vomiting, we found out that he had pancreatitis, but also we actually found out that he has the splenic tumor as well. But he was too sick at the time to do any surgery.
How big was this mass again?
The mass was about 7 centimeters wide, and something this size could rupture at any moment. The last thing we would want is for him to just go on a walk and then suddenly the tumor ruptures and could bleed to death if not saved in time. Splenic tumors can be really, really dangerous. Often they'll go unnoticed and they grow and grow and grow. What eventually happens is these blood-filled tumors can burst. And when that happens, it's a life-threatening situation for any dog, because what can happen is all the blood can go into the abdomen, their blood pressure drops, and within maybe even a few hours they could pass away.
In terms of timing, part of the reason I came back from LA quickly was that it was like the surgery has to be done like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And because of all that risk of potentially rupturing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Owner Michael has had Piglet since he was a puppy, and the two globetrotters have hardly been apart ever since.
I was on holiday in the US, so I cut my time short because he was in a lot of pain. He's living his best life. He's traveled pretty much around the world. He grew up mostly in Los Angeles, but has relocated to London. I'm retired, so we spend 24/7 together. So he's my emotional support. He's a big part of my life. It's the most important thing.
I think if we were to wait any longer, the risk of this rupturing would put his life at risk. So if we want to get him out of this alive, we're operating today.
Okay, baby. Good boy. Be a good boy, huh? Be a good boy.
We'll take good care of him.
All right. Thank you.
Film and Piglet, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna take you through.
I feel a little nervous because he's so old and it's a big deal. It's a big operation, but hopefully he's got the strength to make it through this.
Let's go say hi to Sarah. There we go.
Hey, Piglet.
Ready for surgery? We're going to remove your spleen.
Hello. Purring away, I can't hear anything.
Northwest of Sydney, Rob is in the middle of a routine health check when suddenly...
Hi Rob, sorry to bother you. I know you're with another patient, but this little one's just come in, found on the side of the road, laying there injured.
Let's pop up here.
Nurse Anne has rushed in with an emergency case.
Let's have a look at her. I'm just checking one animal and all of a sudden we have this cat brought in. It's a stray, but that doesn't matter. It's the animal that's important. I'll just see if she's got a microchip. Let's find out who owns you, eh? Where are you hiding your chip? Nothing. No microchip.
Okay.
No owner, eh? What's your name? He's not calling you Ginger.
Rob's worried Ginger could be injured.
I think the jaw's in alignment, so I don't think we've got dislocation. The other teeth tell me this is a young animal, 9 to 12 months of age. Very quiet. Very good girl. She Pupils are a bit dilated, darling. Have you got a problem? Let's have a look. No, they're responding. A little bit slow, but they're responding.
It turns out Ginger is a he, not a she, and appears to be hurt.
You've got a problem with the back leg. Got a really, something severe. It's either a fracture or dislocation along its length. Ooh, yow, I can feel bone grating on bone, so there's a fracture there somewhere. So I checked the front end, I'm happy with that, but the back end, one leg's much shorter than the other, and I can feel bone grating on bone. Once that's happening, I know there is a severe fracture going on somewhere in this leg. This little cat could have been hit by a car. It's all right. You're purring away. Let's take an x-ray, we'll see what we're going to do.
Okay, excellent.
No owner, eh? Never mind.
Here we go. Good boy.
In southwest London, Michael and Nurse Sarah are getting ready to remove 13-year-old Piglet's spleen.
He's going sleepy.
It's working. Piglet's in with me today for a planned splenectomy. Not a procedure we normally do, but in this case we know that he's got this strange tumour growing on his spleen. So we need to find out if this is spreading to other organs and then take that tumour out.
Come, little man. Thank you.
But before he can operate, Michael needs to be absolutely sure the tumour hasn't spread beyond the spleen.
That's perfect.
To find out, he performs a series of scans.
Okay, let's go take that. X-ray. There we go. So now that he's on his back, we can actually see the tumour protruding from his abdomen. So this all here is that splenic mass, which we're going to be removing. The reason why we're x-raying Piglet's chest right now is because we're looking for metastases, which means that there's spread from that tumour in the spleen to other organs. If that has happened, we won't be able to do the surgery today. So right now what we're doing is having a look at the lung field to make sure that the tumour hasn't spread. In this case, what we're looking at is just a nice clear lung field. You can just see the outline of the tumour here. Brilliant. So that's all fine. I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing. It means that there's no chances of spread currently, but we still have to do the abdominal ultrasound just to make sure that there's nothing in the kidneys or the liver.
The X-ray results are encouraging.
What I'm doing now is looking at some of the other organs. So this is the liver.
If Piglet passes his ultrasound test, surgery can go ahead.
There's the tumour. This big lump of tissue here is the splenic tumour. And it is big. And you can see these pockets here, these darker pockets, those are fluid filled. That means that's filled with blood. And it's those pockets that can randomly burst and a dog could bleed to death. So I am very relieved that we're doing this today. I would be quite worried if we were to leave this any longer. It's such a relief when I see those images. The lungs are nice and clear. There's no spots that could indicate any tumours in the chest or his other organs, and that means that we can go ahead and do the splenectomy.
Good boy.
Unfortunately, it means that the tumour is still there, and this type of surgery carries several big risks. It's my lucky scrub hat. Hopefully we won't need any luck today, but we'll see.
All good?
At the Australian Reptile Park north of Sydney,
Go ahead, mate.
Operation Manager Billy's day is about to get a lot more exciting and dangerous.
Mate, I'm just up the other end of the alligator lagoon and there looks to be an alligator here with some plastic or something in its mouth. He looks like he's trying to eat it. If you can come quick and have a look.
Copy, thanks for that, I'm on my way. I'm in Elvis's pool, scooping leaves out of the water. I get a radio call saying one of the alligators has got something foreign in its mouth, swallowing something that's unnatural. I've got to get over there real fast. Hey. I'm really nervous about this. We're right in the middle of breeding season and there's a large male out there swimming around with something unnatural in his mouth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and lure the gators over and see if I can spot him. Hey, 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 come on. Hey, come on. Up, 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 up.
Billy must identify the possibly injured reptile from among almost 50 American alligators living in the park's lagoon.
Come on. Yeah, yeah. So for most people, all the alligators look the same, but to me, they've got different scars, markings and size, and they think it's Houdini, one of our big dominant males. And he's pretty gnarly looking. He's got a few scars on his face, real dominant boy. That's who I'm looking for. That's him just there, at the back, the darker one. I can't see anything hanging out of his mouth, so I'd say he's swallowed the thing. Yeah.
While his colleagues encourage Houdini's friends to stay in the water,
Yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Billy attempts to bring the 18-year-old ashore for closer inspection and possible treatment.
Hey, hey, hey. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. So I've got him all the way to the ramp. He's come right in perfect. I got that rope. I thought I had it over his jaws and he just slipped out and he was gone. So now I need to get that food back out, lure him back in and go for attempt number 2. Come on. Hey, come on.
If Houdini escapes with the foreign object still inside him, it could be a death sentence.
Come on. I can't muck it up again. If I muck this up, he's going to be gone and I'm not going to get him today. And if he swallows it, goes through his stomach and ends up in his intestinal tract, it could cause a blockage that might actually cost him his life. Come on. Yeah.
Come on, baby. Good boy.
Near Sydney, Rob urgently needs to x-ray young cat Ginger to find out just how badly the little stray is injured.
Do him on the table. Not running away. No, it's not going to stay there, I don't think.
Ginger is too agitated and will need to be sedated before Rob can take any x-rays.
Bit of propofol to start with. Here we go. No more pain for a little while. Here you go. What we're doing now is just spraying the vocal cords with some local anaesthetic. Cats remain one of the hardest animals to intubate. Let's put a tube down into the trachea because their vocal cords are so sensitive, they just snap shut. Here we go.
First, Rob wants to check Ginger's chest and abdomen for any internal injuries from a likely encounter with a car.
Okay, so the diaphragm's intact, doesn't seem to be any hemorrhage in the chest, heart's laying down nicely, and there's no air in the chest and no blood in the chest that I can see. All that looks good, Annie. Let's have a look at the back leg. Ginger. He's such a good cat, just a lovely animal. So I'm hoping for nothing major, but I think there'll be a fracture. I hope that it's not too bad. Stay there. Ready? Fire. Oh, look at this, Annie.
Oh.
Femoral neck fracture. Quite a bad one. That is nasty. Femoral neck through there, right down the femur, there well attached. You can see the difference. You don't have to be a veterinarian to see that problem. You've got this big spike that's just going to hurt him if we leave that. So we've got to remove that spiky bit of bone. And inside that, there's the actual ball part sitting in the socket, which will do him no good at all. We've got to get rid of that for him as well. That is major surgery, my friend. I'm so sorry, little cat. We can't leave you like that. Gosh, might be a stray, but he deserves a go. The femoral neck is that part of the femur, that large bone that attaches to the ball and allows the ball to sit inside the socket. We're in trouble because this has come off and we've got to try and fix this somehow. It's not that easy to get into a hip joint that's already been destroyed by trauma. The hardest part is getting that ball out of that socket. If you leave it there, it's going to seize everything up, and what will happen, you just get this big mess and you won't be able to use that leg at all. Ready to go?
Okay.
So the first thing I have to do is make an incision and then remove some of the soft tissue between the muscle wall and the skin.
In southwest London, Michael has begun surgery to remove the troublesome spleen from French bulldog Piglet.
If you don't make this incision well enough, sometimes you can pierce the organs underneath, and that's something we definitely don't want to do.
Earlier in the day, scans confirmed the presence of a massive and most likely cancerous tumour in the diseased organ.
There we go. First thing that's greeting me is this big splenic tumour there. Now we've got to get rid of this bad boy. The biggest thing that I'm worried about is any uncontrolled bleeding. We're working with a spleen that's filled with a tumour, and that means that the tissue is very brittle. And if I just do one wrong movement, anything could then burst and then bleed. And that will make my job 1,000 times more difficult because there's just blood squirting everywhere. You can't see what you're doing. This type of surgery carries several risks. The biggest one that I'm worried about is when I'm actually removing the spleen. There are lots of different vessels that go in and out of the spleen, and I need to carefully tie those off one by one before I can cut them. What can happen here is if any of those start bleeding uncontrollably or the mass itself bursts, then it'll be a bloodbath. You can see these are the blood vessels that run into the spleen. So these are the ones I need to start tying off one by one. There's some nice big ones there as well. The spleen has more of a function when we're developing, so it has a role in blood production, it's involved in our immune system as well. Once we're older, there are other parts of the body that can do the same job, so yeah, it's not going to be too missed once it's gone. First few vessels done. Things are going well so far. There's no uncontrolled bleeding. I can see what I need to see, so that's good. Right now, I am just ligating the main splenic artery. So this is the big one, so I have to be very careful and very delicate. And I also have to make sure that my knots are nice and tight. Oh God, there we go. Ooh. One of the vessels just came off. And you can see how fast that blood can come out. If there's a bleed while I'm operating, I need to act very, very fast. These are really big vessels, and if they're bleeding, the dog can lose a lot of blood in a very short space of time, and that can be life-threatening. The last thing you want to do is have to try and remove a splenic tumor when it's bleeding out in the abdomen, you can't see the vessels, and it's just a big mess. Meanwhile, Piglet's losing all this blood volume, so you're kind of racing against the clock to try and save them.
Righto boys, I've spotted Houdini out here. He's at the feed ramp right now. I think he's actually swallowed the tape, which makes me very nervous. It's probably stuck in his stomach there.
At the Australian Reptile Park near Sydney, Billy is prepping his team as they try to catch a male alligator that swallowed a dangerous foreign object.
Really worried about him, so we'll go out like it's a normal feed routine. I'll lure him over, we'll pull him up here, restrain him, we'll get the vet in, and hopefully we can remove what's actually stuck in his stomach. Righto boys, let's walk out to the ramp and we'll get ready.
After an earlier attempt to capture Houdini failed, Billy fears this might be their final chance to save the stricken alligator.
Yeah, come on. Righto Dylan. Pull, 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 pull. Hold up, just let him come past his post. Pull, 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 pull. I've got him on the rope. He's going absolutely berserko, thrashing around. Other gators are coming in. We've got to get him to the shore ASAP. Go, 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 go. Go wide. Go wide, go wide. Right over here. hold up, that rope's gonna snap. Where's that second rope? I've got him right against the bank with the rope that's just caught on one of his teeth. It looks like it's about to snap. I've got to jump on him straight away, and then we've got to get that second rope on to secure him. Just watch my back, Nick, jump on a stick.
Yeah, look at this.
All right, just watch these guys right here. You boys good?
Yeah.
Get that second rope on. Yep, I've got that. Can I yep. Right. Try and drag him up a little bit. I'm just going to stay up for a little bit. Yeah. Just his head, lift up.
Lift that jaw.
Lift that jaw.
Go. One more, go. One more, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
3, 1, 2, 1. Oh, rope.
Yeah, we'll just, your feet are on the rope. Yep, do the rope.
3, 3, go. Pull. 3, 2, 1. Bring him up, keep going, sit down. One more. 3, 2, 1. Right, that'll do.
Yeah, each side. He might roll. Yeah, we'll do.
Stay down, boy. Yes, we got him.
Billy and his team have successfully dragged their prospective patient ashore.
Just watch, boys, she's building here. She's probably going to roll. Chuck us that stick.
But the 250-kilogram giant isn't happy to be on dry land.
Watch out. We've got him up on the bank, we're tying him up on the tree, but he's going berserk, but he's gonna roll. This is really dangerous, but we have to do this. This is life or death for this alligator. Loosen that rope right up and let him walk.
They must wait for Houdini to calm down to have any chance of searching for the foreign object he swallowed.
Grab that rope, just let him walk a bit further and turn him. We'll let him come past these trees and we'll retie him on this one. Turn now, turn. Keep that rope tight. Righto.
Ready to go?
Okay. Keep pushing down.
Just trying to find the muscles.
On Sydney's outskirts, Rob is trying to remove stray cat Ginger's shattered hip joint.
Okay, can I go now?
Okay.
Rob suspects the kitten suffered the shocking injury when he was hit by a car.
Got to get through there. Essentially, the ball part of the biggest bone in the body, the femur, the ball part of that has broken off, and it's sitting in the socket. If we don't get it out, it will seize up. So we've got to get it out. But we've got to get it out without cutting the sciatic nerve. Otherwise, that would paralyse that leg. We'll have to take the leg off. Good. We found the very top part of the femur, and we're working our way down the remnants of the femoral neck so we can find the hip. Got to get through there. If I snip the femoral artery, this animal will be dead if I don't tie it off straight away. So there's a fair few things to consider. Okay, we're just in the hip now because I've just got that clear fluid, what's called synovial fluid. It's the lubricant, if you like, of the joint. So we're in the joint. Yes! That's it. That's the ball part of the hip, and I'm very delighted we got that out in one piece. I grabbed it with some very large forceps and bang, it all came out together. I was so happy when it all just came out in one whoosh go. That's lovely. There it is there. It was just such a relief. I didn't expect it to be that easy. Now we're going to clean up the other part. We've got to remove that spiky bit of bone. I'm hoping that'll be easier. There it is there, I can feel it. If you can put your hand in there like that for me.
But Ginger is not out of the woods unless Rob can remove the final piece of broken bone.
I can feel it.
Hey.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Houdini has finally settled enough for Billy to begin treating the massive alligator.
We definitely have to get the vet in. We're going to have to sedate him and have a really good look in that mouth.
Billy and his team must remove a dangerous object the huge reptile swallowed before it can cause a fatal blockage in his gut.
I couldn't see it directly out there when I was catching him, but now I've got him caught and it looked like he was trying to regurgitate, and I can just see hanging out the side of his mouth, it is tape.
Dr. Cat and the team from Somersby Animal Hospital have arrived and are getting ready to inject a muscle relaxant into the 18-year-old.
Just let him build up here. Just keep that pressure on. Don't let him come much further up. Just keep him. I'll jump and I'll get my hands nice and tight. Cat will come in, boom, needle. Yeah.
If all goes to plan, Billy will put his arm down Houdini's throat to retrieve the potentially deadly plastic.
All good? All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. So I've just jumped on him. I've got my arms right underneath. There's so much weight on his head. My arm's going numb. I need that injection in him right now. All right, Cat, I'm good. Beautiful, mate. Thank you. My hand's in his mouth now. I'm starting to feel him relax out a little bit. I can't drop my guard though. It's still very dangerous. So just stand up here and see if his jaws lift when you lift that rope. We got to get that timber right into his mouth now. So just try and open his mouth. I've got to get in there. No. Yep. I've got his mouth wide open. Dylan's chucked the timber in and the gator's just cracked it straight away. His teeth pierced straight into that timber. It makes me very nervous because that timber is much harder than my arm. So I'm going to hold his head up and Dylan, you've got to go under.
Houdini's killer jaws are sealed tight, so he can't open his mouth and potentially bite Billy's arm off.
It's so strong, eh? Yeah, that's good. Woo. I reckon just hold it there for a sec. I'll swap out with the boys.
Now comes the moment of truth.
So you just tell me when you're good. Yep. Come in. All right, I'm gonna have to stick my hand down into his mouth. I've got to admit though, I'm very nervous about doing this. I just got to get this over and done with. So I'm just gonna reach in here. You boys have got that gator well? Yeah, mate. Woo!
Just trying to get in and see, there it is there, I can feel it.
In Sydney's northwest, Rob now needs to remove a jagged bone fragment from Ginger's damaged hip.
Can I have something to grab it with, please? And again, yes! I think we've got most of that spike out. I think we've got it all. Let me just have a feel. Oh, this is good, Annie. So it's gone well. We've even got the little bit of spike that was in that femoral neck out. This is delightful. This makes me a very happy veterinarian.
Now Rob must reconstruct Ginger's hind leg, so the little stray will be pain-free and able to walk normally.
We're going to just put some muscle in between the remnant of the femur, what's left of it, and the socket. We have to stitch some muscle between the two bones to keep them apart and allow this animal to use this joint now as a muscle sling joint rather than a normal ball and socket joint. Okay, done. It makes for a very happy day when this sort of thing happens. I am very happy for this cat, very happy. Come on, little man. Come on, you follow me around this. Where you go. Good boy. Here you go. All done. And all's gone well for you, little man. Good boy. So I'm really happy. I mean, he's going to stay here for a couple of weeks. In the meantime, we'll put the word out, see if we can find his owner. If no one claims him, we will find a home for him. I'm not going to send this one to the pound. He's just so sweet.
Okay, that's done there. There's nothing oozing out from there. So I'm pretty happy that we're not going to get any bleeding.
In southwest London, Michael has been able to stem the flow of blood from a vessel connected to Piglet's spleen.
You just have to do things methodically. Don't get too confident with this, because as soon as you get too confident, you do something stupid and then you're in a bit of a pickle.
Once all the blood vessels attached to the French bulldog's spleen are sealed off, he can remove the tumorous organ from his 13-year-old patient.
So all this tissue around here doesn't make things easier in terms of viewing the blood vessels. There's a lot of fat in here. When there's a lot of fat surrounding the blood vessels, it makes my job a lot harder. First of all, it means that I can't see the blood vessels, and secondly, it makes everything really greasy and slippery. It makes things difficult to hold and manipulate the vessels. I can just see the vessels there. There we go. That's better. If I tie off the wrong blood vessels, or even worse, miss one, there can be huge consequences. I can actually then cut off the blood supply to other really important organs, just like the stomach. If I'm correct, that was the last vessel that we had to ligate, so if I do this, we should hopefully be able to. There we go. So this is the normal spleen, and then that's the big tumor here. I've just removed the spleen and it's a huge relief. You know, I was so worried about this massive tumor and it bleeding and then, you know, Piglet possibly even dying on the table. Next thing I know, the tumor's out and Piglet's still alive. Now that I've removed the spleen, what we're going to do is send that to the lab. Okay. Even though I could not see any obvious signs of spread with those X-ray images, there's a 50% chance that the splenic tumor could be metastatic, which is the really bad type that can spread to other organs and potentially be fatal. So we do need to send it away to the lab, and what they do is look at the tumor microscopically, and they can tell us whether it is benign, whether it's spread. I just did a check in the rest of the abdomen just to make sure that there was no bleeding. Luckily at the moment I couldn't see anything. Now we are stitching closed his muscle wall, so we'll be able to wake him up and he will be a dog minus a spleen.
Good boy. I'm putting a little t-shirt on him so it prevents him from licking the wound.
Now what we have to do is wake Piglet up from the anesthetic, and that is still a touch and go period because anything can go wrong in the recovery period.
Piglet, come on little man.
Come on buddy.
I'm just trying to get my arm in there and I can feel it. It feels like it's stuck.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Billy is struggling to locate a potentially lethal ball of tape lodged in the throat of Alligator Houdini.
There's something stuck on the back side of his platal valve. It's really tight. I'm sliding my hand into his mouth. His teeth are right there. I'm starting to reach up to the back of the platal valve, and I tell you what, I am nervous.
To reach the harmful object, Billy must negotiate a unique valve at the back of the throat that allows alligators to close their airway while swallowing prey underwater.
It just feels so unnatural sticking your arm down the throat of an alligator.
Billy is now becoming worried the battle to remove the object is putting too much stress on Houdini's health.
Hey Kat, you reckon you can come and just monitor his breath, see what you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just a little nervous because I've got his platal valve open, but obviously my hand's down his throat, I'm blocking it, but I'm just making sure you can see him rising and so on.
Yeah, they've been really nice and steady.
Oh, good stuff.
How does it feel in there?
It feels very uncomfortable to have my arm down an alligator's mouth, I know that, but I can feel the ball of what I assume is that tape.
Perfect, perfect.
What I've worked out is there's a ball of tape there, right? It's on the other side of the platal valve and he just can't spit it out, he can't swallow it. So I've got to try and slide it out of his mouth now. All right, I'm down his throat. I'm down. Oh, I can feel it's a ball of tape. I can literally feel it. I'm just feeling through over his platal valve here. All right, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it. Oh. Righto, so we've got it. Wow, have a go at that. Probably a couple of meters of tape. When we first seen him, we didn't see anything, and then he started thrashing around and little bits started coming up, and I'd say it's just been going backwards and forwards, this bit, and that ball has been getting stuck. Whew, thank goodness we got that out. Wow. We found the gator, we got him captured and secured, we removed the tape, it was just textbook. And I've got my arm out of his mouth, which is a huge relief for me. Beautiful. Righto, we'll give him a bit of space. To be honest, I was very nervous when I got that radio call. I was really worried for that gator, but we got him caught, we got him out, the whole procedure went really smooth. He's back in the lagoon and it's a great ending. Whew.
Piglet. That's it. Good boy. Hello.
In London's southwest, French bulldog Piglet is waking up from surgery to remove a tumorous spleen.
Give me your mouth.
There we go. Good boy.
Good boy.
Oh yes, I know.
Oh.
As Michael and nurse Sarah help him regain consciousness,
Good boy.
Hello. Here for Piglet.
his owners Mike and Antonio arrive, anxious to be reunited with the 13-year-old they adore.
Thank you. Quite a tense afternoon, I'd say. About 5 hours of just kind of waiting, not knowing what was going on.
I mean, for me, it's clearly the 5 longest hours of my life. And as soon as we got the phone call, I started crying. I couldn't hold my nerves anymore.
I was thinking the worst, that things just went wrong or something.
Hello. Look at you. Hello, little boy. Good boy. You ready to go home? You ready to go home?
It was great handing over Piglet back to his owners because you could see just how emotional they were. They were just so happy to have him back. They were so worried about the surgery and everything that poor Piglet was going through.
How did it all go?
So everything went really well. We did the imaging, the x-rays came up clear, no sign of spread. Regarding the tumor, we're going to send that away to the lab and then we're going to find out whether it's something that we should be a bit more worried about.
So you kind of have to feel lucky, I think.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Correct.
Hopefully we get a lot more years with him.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see you guys later.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Thank
Have a
you
good
so
night.
much, Michael.
Any problems, just let me know.
Okay.
I'm sure that you don't get much of this.
No, I'm gonna help.
Thank you so much. No problem.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you
I'll see
so
you
much.
later, okay?
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye. Quite the relief, I must say. Yeah, and they said he's a trooper. He's doing quite well. So he's good.
Amazing.
Let's go home, okay? Good boy.
Little boy.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Alligator Houdini has had no further mishaps since the perilous and life-saving procedure
I've got it.
to remove a ball of tape stuck in his throat.
Wow, have a go at that.
He's back to enjoying the company of more than 40 other alligators in their specially designed lagoon.
Yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Despite some fierce competition come feeding time.
Yeah.
buddy. It's good to see you too. You're going to a new home. You'll love these people. They'll love you.
It's nearly 2 weeks since Rob repaired the shattered hip of the little stray he's affectionately nicknamed Ginger.
Your new people are here. Here we go. You're going to a new home. Come on, let's go.
Rob was unable to track down the road trauma victim's owners,
You ready? I think we're going to get a new pussycat.
but he's found a young family eager to adopt the well-natured little stray.
What's your favourite colour cats?
When Rob first called me, at first I thought, I'll think about it, and I hung up the phone, and almost instantly I rang him back and said, yes, we'll be there.
Okay, here he is.
Oh, isn't he cute?
Your new cat is a wonderful, wonderful kitten.
Lauren, Joshua and their daughters Morgan and Sadie are excited about the new addition to their family.
You got a name for him?
Yes.
Already? What are we calling him?
Chandler.
Chandler. Oh, that's a good name. It's very, very beautiful, isn't he? You watch him walk. He's only had his surgery less than 2 weeks ago, and he's already walking around.
Oh, wow.
Really good temperament. Just loves people. Come on, Chandler. There you go.
Do you like to have a cuddle?
He's been very safe. I've had him in all sorts of situations and doesn't get his claws out or anything. He's been wonderful. I think he likes you.
Oh, he's stuck on your shit. 12 months ago, we had our very first rescue cat, and he was 18 and he passed away. So since then, the kids have been sort of really searching for that cuddly, purry lap cat that they can sort of grow up with. He's going to come home with us.
You've got a really good home. Yes, you have. You are such a beautiful cat. It's all yours. Now and then you really feel you've made a real difference in an animal's life, and this is one of those moments. We're able to save his life after the car accident, save his legs so that he can use it, and now a great home to boot. Really good stuff.
So he'll live out the rest of his days with us and live a long life with us.
You gonna love Chandler?
Yes.
If you guys loved that video, great. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel below. That way.